Hello everyone, this is the Metaphysical Micto Griffin Red. And the name of this video will be called Dumb Niggas Who Champion Racist Whites. I decided to do this video. It was in response to a couple videos that I seen on YouTube recently. One was by Tommy Sotomayor, and the other one was a video called 5 Minutes of Cooning by Save Black Men, and it features this black Confederate reenactor getting up on a podium and apparently saying that slavery was a great thing, and just basically just making a complete ass of himself. So I wanted to do this video to obviously let you guys know that there are black men and obviously black women out there that are white supremacists, unfortunately. And this is why I have an issue when people say that we need more black male unity. No, we don't need to unite with everybody, every dude out here that's black. That's obvious. Because you have motherfuckers back in slavery that were okay with being a slave. Hell, you had some that actually fought, that did fight with the Confederacy, like this jackass in this video. So that's why I really believe that's why slavery lasted for so long. It's because you had people that didn't want freedom. Because see, you got to remember, any kind of freedom that you want, or the freedom that the black man wants or whatever, it requires effort. It doesn't come free. So some people would actually be okay with being a slave. And that's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But first, I'm going to talk about the video that Tommy Sotomayor made. And it was he made it about a couple months ago, and it featured two black women in South Africa. I guess they were cops or whatever. And it seems that they were harassing this white woman or whatever. And I guess the video went viral. Now, my issue is, especially with Tommy, he's saying that, see, this is why, black people can't be civilized. And, I used to be a fan of Tommy Sotomayor, but I noticed his latest videos, it seems like his true nature is coming out. And this guy, sounds like a black white supremacist, and that's really hypocritical, because he's actually championing, segregation. He championed apartheid. I mean, when you go and look at the comments on that video, I'll leave it in the description box. You had one guy say on there that black people were better under apartheid over there in South Africa. This was a black person saying this. So I have to wonder, what the hell is going on in people's mind, especially these black motherfuckers that say this stupid shit. That we were better under segregation and everything. Okay, so you were okay with having the Klan come to your town or whatever, burn your houses down and everything like that, and you had no legal recourse. You see, Kitty Gackery Jones did a video recently. It's called Soul Controllers. Look him up. Shout out to you, Kitty Gackery. And it talks about how you have blacks and whites that are bringing 20th century mindsets into the 21st century. And he actually went into great detail about how the Russians were here in America, and how they exposed to the world, how America treated its people of color, black people or whatever. So the Jim Crow, and I think Jim Crow was not going to last forever. And I did a little research myself, and you have to remember that black people back before Jim Crow, because blacks and whites were not always segregated. If you dumbass niggas that want segregation so bad would read history, you would know that the white race codes and, you know, the black codes or whatever, and what we see as, you know, black and white skin color now didn't originate until 1681 after the Bacon Rebellion. That was a slave rebellion between poor whites and blacks. They got together, and there was a major uprising. So what they did was, by the elites, they created this so-called white and black and all these different racial categories. And I know the pro-blacks and the white nationalists don't like to hear that, but this is recorded historic fact. And if you actually took away the white racial classification, you would have these groups of Europeans back at each other's neck again. And I've gone on YouTube recently, or not YouTube, the internet, and I've read comments from British whites, and they still talk down on the Scottish and the Irish. They still hate the Irish and Scottish to this day. They actually look, you know, they really look down on them. And I was actually looking at this, some research, that there was actually some religious wars that happened in Ireland. Within Ireland, both groups are white. So you know, come on, guys, help me try to understand. Why do you have guys like Tommy, and there are other black male YouTubers that are white supremacists that champion, you know, the so-called rights of, you know, of Klansmen, and, you know, and everything like that. And for the life of me, I could not understand why Tommy Sotomayor had David Duke and shared a platform with David Duke and allowed this man on his show. For the life of me, I can't understand that. You know, doesn't he know that if it was 60 years ago, you think these guys wouldn't have no problem hanging your black ass? And I hate to say this, because I know all dark-skinned people are not like this, but you know, I know you notice another cartoon character from Boondocks, Uncle Ruckus. He black as a tire, and he praises whites. You know, Tommy Sotomayor is dark skinned as well, and I noticed that he kisses white people's ass too. And I actually gone to school with people, and I found out there was this one guy I went to school with. He black as night, and I found out now that he only deals with white people now. So it seems to be a correlation between dark-skinned people, and not all, and you know, this ass kissing. Hell, I remember there was an associate director with a company I used to work for. This bitch was black as hell and was kissing white people's ass. It boggled my mind. I couldn't believe it. And I'm sure some of you guys in the sound of my voice listening, you actually know of other black male YouTubers that champion the rights of racist white folks. You know who they are. So I guess they're going to be okay with going back to the way things used to be. You know, you want to go back to the times where your child could be hung. You can have the sheriff and different these different white terrorist groups come to your town, burn your house down, and kill your whole family, and you can't do nothing about it. You want to be shuffled into a goddamn these little cubicle areas where they tell you can and can't go. You dumbass niggas want that. I'm gonna share a story with you. I was at a dialysis center, picking someone up or whatever, a good friend of mine, and there was this older black gentleman. He had a southern accent, obviously, so I kind of figured this guy was in like his 70s or something like that. So he's a pretty older guy. So anyway, him and I got to talking, and I was like, well, I recently watched this video online, and I, you have a lot of guys, a lot of black people, championing white racists and everything like that. And he told me that because, he actually came up from the South in segregation, and I asked him, did black people like segregation? He told me no. He told me it was fucking horrible down there. But he then proceeded to tell me, well, look here, young fella. You have black people that have the mindset that if massa say that I's are supposed to do this, then I's have got to do this. So basically what he was saying was that if you have black people that say if the white man say that's, you supposed to stay in your nigger place or whatever, then you have a lot of these dumb niggas will go right along with it. This is why there's IBMOR, MGTOW, SYSBM. We are the lone wolves. And I myself, I've just given up pretty much, I've just gave up on, I'm sick of people. Let me ask you people, are you at a point now where you just sick of being around people? And I'm not talking about race right now. You just tired, you just don't want to be bothered with humanity in general? Ask yourself that question. I'm sure some of you would say yes, and that's where I'm at now. I'm tired of hearing about fucking race. I'm tired of hearing about, well, what are you doing for this black community? What do what you doing to help your people out? Okay, first off, them niggas ain't your people. And a lot of people are probably not gonna like the words that's about to come out of my mouth. But in a lot of instances, your people might not be other black people. And also remember this. Common interest is going to always override color. That was one of the most memorable quotes by the great BGS IBMOR. And shout out to you, brother. And he actually did a video actually checking these dumb millennials about how they think things were better before civil rights. And he actually said, if you guys want to go back to eating the inferior food and, getting the housing that white people don't want, then you go and be my guest. You go right ahead and be stupid and do that. So I asked my brothers, what is going on in the brain of people like the people I mentioned that actually champion racist whites? What's that jackass motherfucker who runs the church Atla Worldwide or whatever? He actually preached a sermon and said that black people never built any civilization. This buck dancing, pork bone sucking ass preacher said that shit. So here's what I got to say. When this purge comes, I hope they purge them niggas out. Me personally, for those of you, if you have a mindset like me or whatever, yes, as I explained before, I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, but it's mostly like Eastern European or whatever. And I've been here 12 years and never had a problem. But I would never put white people on a pedestal or whatnot. But, I will say this, and this is from my own experience and I'm sure a lot of you out there listening to this video can vouch for this. Who was it that helped you out when you were in need? When you tried to call on your so-called black brothers and a lot of them left you hanging or whatnot. You had a white friend or whatnot. Didn't he come through for you? See, it's not about skin color, and you have these dumbass Negroes still championing this shit and still thinking and still having this 20th century mindset. It's the 21st century, and And for these niggas to sit up there and say that black people were better under apartheid, you're not from South Africa. You weren't over there. You try going and living under that shit where the white police can bust down your door, beat the fuck out of you, and throw you in jail. For no crime. And you talking about black people are better under apartheid? You know, it's like Tommy is really, you know, and Tommy and guys like him, they are just really making me sick with this fucking black white supremacist bullshit. And to me, they are more dangerous than the so-called white man. And even the pro-black, for that matter. So my brothers, this is more like a rant or whatever. You know, keep your eyes open for people like this. And it just made me sick to my stomach. Like I said, I'll leave it in the description box or whatever. You know, the video I'm speaking of or whatever. And you brothers know the other people that I'm talking about who champion racist white folks. Anybody that does that is your enemy. Make sure you remember that. This is the Metaphysical MGTOW, and I'm out.